Me and my partners wanted to open Mass Movement because I think it's important for a music community to have an all ages space. A lot of music happens in bars and bigger clubs, and it's not really a place where somebody who is under 21 and just learning how to be a musician can really hone their craft. And so by providing that space, we give them a spot where they can do that. And then also, being from Oklahoma, growing up in the punk and hardcore scene, I always felt a little bit kind of on the outside of what was normal. And so having a place where young kids can come and kind of be themselves and explore who they are and who they want to be without being judged, I think is really important, and that was like a main factor in opening as well. Some of the major challenges that we faced with kind of having a space like this is, so we originally opened a smaller space on 15th and Harvard, I want to say 2018, and just kind of got it like self-sustained, and then of course COVID hit, and so couldn't have shows, obviously. Definitely still utilized the space as a practice space for bands because we were in a lease. Recorded some live sets, but ultimately we weren't making enough money to keep the lights on. And so our landlord was cool and they let us out of the space. And so when COVID was kind of over and things started opening back up, we started looking to open a new spot. And then we found a place over at 18th in Boston that we thought was like really nice. Got in there, signed the lease, paid deposits, all that stuff. And then the property manager over there was like, we don't want a live music venue because if we put a restaurant next door, they're going to complain about the noise. And I was like, well, this is what we told you we were going to do from the beginning, so I don't really understand what the problem is. But they wouldn't relent on it, and so lost a good chunk of money there because we couldn't get the deposit back. And then we found this space and got it open, I want to say 6 months after we signed the lease on, because there was a lot of work to do. The city just requires you to do so much to make it a safe environment for people that are going to be gathering inside. And so the biggest challenge here was we had to scrape out like 2,000 square feet of this foam insulation that was in the ceiling. So we had to do that by hand. So it was all done DIY. We didn't hire anybody to do any of this, like all the stage work and all the foam that we removed, all the construction on the inside, all the art, everything is done all ourselves so that we didn't have to pay out, because one of the challenges that comes along with a place like this is that it's not a huge money maker. It's really like a passion project, and so if we are not generating money, then we're losing it. I think the way we've been able to succeed through all the kind of ups and downs of closing and opening and finding a new spot and then having to lose it and then finding this one is just through the support of the community. And so, the punk and hardcore scene, it's pretty tight knit, just DIY in general. So people are very eager to help in situations like that, whether it be monetarily or by coming up and lending a hand when we had to do maintenance on the building, coming to shows, paying the cover, buying merch from bands, like just creating like an ecosystem that kind of helps everything, self-sustain. I think that's the most important part of it. We can make a cool space, but if nobody's here participating in the music, then it doesn't really work out as well. You have to have a good relationship with the people who are going to be coming to a space like this. It doesn't work if you just open it. You have to have the support from the community in order to make it work, and so I would say that you have to be plugged into what's going on, kind of have your ear to the ground as far as like what's happening in your space, whether that be a bigger city or a smaller town, and then just go into it knowing that it's not going to be like a thing that makes a ton of money, but it can be super fulfilling to see, some 18-year-old kid grow from like his first band into like a musician that finds some success.